Hello and welcome back to English Audiobook Summary. Today we're diving into a book that quietly changes the way you think about every single conversation you'll ever have. It's called Rapport, The 4 Ways to Read People by Emily Allison and Lawrence Allison. Let's meet our story's main character, Rachel, and see how these powerful ideas played out. In her life, Rachel was 28 years old, living in Chicago, working as a marketing manager at a mid-sized tech company. On paper, her life looked fine. She had a steady job, a decent apartment, and a group of friends she saw on weekends. But something felt off. Her team meetings never went smoothly. Her younger brother barely spoke to her anymore. And every phone call with her mother somehow ended in tension. Rachel started to wonder if the problem wasn't the people around her, maybe it was her. One evening, walking home past a bookstore, a title in the window caught her eye. Rapport, The 4 Ways to Read People. She thought, maybe this is exactly what I need. She bought it, went home, made a cup of tea, and started reading. Chapter 1, The Here Principles. The first chapter introduced 4 core principles, spelled out with the acronym HERE. Honesty, empathy, autonomy, and reflection. Rachel read each one carefully, and one by one she saw pieces of her own life reflected back at her. Honesty. The book explained that most people avoid saying what they really think. They soften things, dodge the truth, or just stay quiet to keep the peace. Rachel thought of her coworker Brian, who constantly missed deadlines. Every time she'd just say, "It's fine. Don't worry about it," even though it wasn't fine at all. The next time Brian was late with a report, she tried something different. She said, "Brian, this is the 3rd time this month. I need to understand what's actually going on." Brian looked surprised for a second, then opened up. It turns out he'd been quietly overwhelmed with a second project nobody else knew about. Rachel realized honesty might feel uncomfortable in the moment, but it's the only thing that actually builds trust over time. Empathy. Her best friend, Jessica, had just gone through a rough breakup. Normally, Rachel would jump straight into advice mode. "You're better off without him, just move." And this time she paused. Instead, she said, "That really sounds painful. I'm here. Whatever you need." Jessica went quiet for a moment, then said, "Thank you. That's honestly all I wanted to hear." Rachel learned that empathy isn't about fixing someone's problem, it's about genuinely sitting with how they feel. Autonomy. Her younger brother, Tyler, was a junior in high school, prepping for the SAT, and completely allergic to anyone telling him what to do. Rachel used to say things like, "You need to study more, or you'll regret it." It never worked. If anything, it made him study less. This time, she simply asked, "What's your plan for next month?" Tyler, without any pressure, started laying out his own study schedule. Rachel was amazed at how much more cooperative he became the moment she stopped trying to control him and let him keep his own sense of choice. Reflection. At work, a new intern named Emma came to Rachel, clearly anxious, and said she felt like her work wasn't being noticed by the team. Instead of jumping to reassurance, Rachel reflected it back. "So it sounds like you're putting in real effort, but you're not sure anyone's seeing it." Emma's shoulders visibly relaxed. "Exactly," she said. "I just needed someone to actually get it." That's when Rachel understood reflective listening makes people feel heard in a way that advice never can. Chapter 2, Communication Styles, explained through animals. The next chapter used a clever framework, comparing communication styles to 4 animals. Rachel found this section almost fun to read because she immediately started spotting these styles in people she knew. The T-Rex style is dominant and aggressive, loud, confrontational, and quick to blame. Rachel thought instantly of her co-founder, Mark, who would raise his voice in meetings whenever targets were missed. The book noted this style isn't always wrong. In high pressure moments, it can work, but overused, it damages trust and makes people afraid to speak up. The lion style is authoritative, confident, and decisive, but not necessarily cruel. Rachel realized uncomfortably that this described her with Tyler. She'd always jump in with solutions before he even finished a sentence, treating her leadership like control. Then guidance. The mouse style is passive and avoidant. Rachel recognized this in herself too. In meetings, she often disagreed with Mark's decisions, but stayed quiet just to avoid conflict. Over time, this cost her both confidence and respect. The monkey style is cooperative and playful, putting people at ease. One week when the whole team was falling behind on a deadline, Rachel lightened the mood by joking, "All right. Team, whoever helps us hit this deadline gets pizza on me Friday." The tension broke. People relaxed and the work actually moved faster. The book was clear: no one is locked into a single style. The real skill is learning to shift your approach depending on the situation and the person in front of you. Chapter 3: The Importance of Listening. One line from this chapter stopped Rachel cold. Most people don't listen to understand. They listen to reply. She thought about how often she did exactly that, half listening to Emma or Jessica while already forming her next sentence in her head. The book explained 3 levels of listening. Surface listening, where you hear words but miss the meaning. Engaged listening, where you show attention through small cues, like nodding or saying, "I see," and empathetic listening, the deepest level, where you genuinely try to feel what the other person is feeling. Rachel tested this with her mother. Her mom had been anxious about retirement savings, worried that Rachel's father wasn't taking it seriously. Instead of jumping in with reassurance, Rachel asked, "Are you worried that if we don't plan now, it'll be a problem later?" Her mother's whole tone shifted. "Yes, exactly that," she said. "I feel like I'm the only one thinking about it." That night, her parents actually sat down and talked through a savings plan, something Rachel's usual "don't worry" mom had never accomplished. Chapter 4: Reactants offer choices, not commands. This chapter introduced a concept called reactants, the idea that when people feel their freedom is being taken away, they instinctively push back, sometimes doing the exact opposite of what they're told, just to reclaim control. Rachel immediately thought of Tyler again, telling him, "You need to study or you'll regret." It always backfired. This time she tried a different approach. "You've got 2 options. Study for 2 hours now and have your evening free, or wake up early and get it done in the morning. Whichever works better for you." Tyler chose the first option on his own without any resistance. The same trick worked with Brian at work. Instead of criticizing his missed deadline, directly she asked, "Are you comfortable with the original deadline or do you need more time?" Brian, without any defensiveness, said, "I'll have it done in 2 days and I'll ask for help if I need it." Rachel realized that giving people a sense of choice, even a small one, completely changes how they respond. Chapter 5: Nonverbal Communication. The final chapter opened with a striking statistic. Words make up only about 7% of communication. The other 93% is tone and body language. Rachel thought back to a presentation Emma had given. Verbally, Emma sounded confident, but her fingers kept fidgeting with her pen, and she avoided eye contact the entire time. Rachel gently asked, "Feels like something's missing from these slides, doesn't it?" Emma's face lit up with relief. She'd been unsure the whole time but hadn't wanted to admit it out loud. Then Rachel remembered her own meeting asking for promotion. Her words had sounded confident, but her shoulders were slumped. Her voice was quiet and she barely made eye contact with her manager. She finally understood. Body language often says more than the words themselves, whether you mean it to or not. By the time Rachel closed the book, she realized these weren't just communication tricks. They were a completely different way of understanding the people around her. Being honest without being harsh. Listening to understand, not to respond. Giving people room to make their own choices. And paying attention not just to what people say, but to how they say it. Thank you, friends. That's it for today's summary. If you enjoyed this one, hit the like button and subscribe for more English audiobook summary content, and let us know in the comments which idea from today stuck with you the most. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.